I Read. I'm Sheila, and I am so glad you're here. And of course, we're going to do bookish things here. It's a book channel, or my book channel. And today is an UnHaul, because I am so excited, guys. I have this thought in my head. Okay, you guys know that my husband, or maybe you don't know, but my husband built my bookshelves in our room, and I love those bookshelves. But I also feel sometimes overwhelmed because they hold a lot of books. And or I feel like, I don't know. When I first started reading novels again for entertainment, I think in 2017, because I had switched positions at work, I didn't know what I liked. So I got a lot of free books or cheap books at the library book sales. Well, since then, I have learned more like what books I like, some authors I like, stuff like that. Not that I won't accept a book if somebody's like, hey, here, I got you a book, you know what I'm saying? But through the course of time, it may come up where I pass it forward without reading it, and or I might trade it. It happens. And or if I see it on the library app, I'm like, okay, do I really want to read it? Am I going to get to it? There's so many other books I'd rather read. So my whole point is, you're going to see my bookshelves, and what I've done is I have put books that have audiobooks on the library app together. So like I have my top bookshelf crammed with books that have audiobooks on the library site, and then all the other ones are just physical books that don't have audios. Those I may still go through, but I think I have kept, I went through them, it took me hours, it took me all day to go through them to see which ones I really wanted to keep and which ones I'm like, you know what, I'm probably never going to read this, and if I ever want to read it, then I can either read it off the library app or I'm sure another book will come. I also want to do this to be more specific or picky, because I'm getting more specific and picky, but also so that I can borrow newer books so that I could borrow newer books at the library if I see them, you know. So this way I'm not like, but I have so many books on my shelf, I don't need to do this right now. Or if I see a digital book, or if somebody recommends a book, this way I don't feel so bad. But in case, I always have the room, and I'm being more picky or specific, which is what I want for me, because I only have so much time, so I can only read so many books. So with all that said, you go watch the video for my shelves and what they look like now, and then you're going to come back and we're going to do the UnHaul. Okay, check out this bookshelf. This one just has Novatine books on it and some stuff from Book Friends. This is stuff I've read that I want to keep right now that I don't want to part with. A couple books I've taken out of the last book haul, just a couple, not a lot. I'm just not ready to part with them yet. Empty, pretty much. Empty, pretty much. And then nonfiction and self-help and important documents and stuff over there in folders and stuff. On this bookshelf is all the books, let's see, this shelf, and this shelf, except for The Girls of Storm and Shadow, are all books that don't have an audiobook on the library app. And then that shelf is stuff that I have bought myself so far this year. And one of those books I might give to my niece, because I don't think I'm going to read it. I don't know. There's a couple books that I'm still iffy on. So, and I want to do Girls of Storm and Shadow because I've already read book 1 again. And then over on this bookshelf, it looks terrible right now, but it's the way I want to keep it at the second, because all the books up here that are all crammed, those are books that have an audiobook on the library app. So I'm going to try and read those this year first, or pick from that shelf first. I doubt if I'll read them all, but we'll see how many I get to. And then those are all books that, let's see, yeah. On this second shelf are books that don't have audio, except for that one. I like the face on that one, that's why I won't part with that book. Both audio, that's a book 2. I don't really like to keep book 2s, but you know. Book 1 and book 2 of the audio is on the library app though. And then these are all books right here that don't have audio, and then my shelf is empty. Alrighty. Cheers. I have my smoothie. I usually do tea, but I needed a smoothie instead. Alrighty. I have 14 library books I'm going to put out into the community. This one, A Beautiful Dark by Jocelyn Davies. Never read it. Just lost interest. And this is nothing to anybody. If you like that book, then tell me, hey Sheila, you need to read that before you give it away. Or make sure it's on your library app before you give it away. Or something like that. Or just check into it before you give it away because that was a really good book. Or something like that. Okay? This is to nobody. Alright, I read Messy, so I'm going to pass it. And, no, I'm sorry, I read Spoiled. And I don't think I'm ever going to read Messy, because I think Messy is book 2, right? I'm pretty sure. Spoiled I have here. I'm going to try and trade it. If I can't, I'll put it out into the community. Dangerous Lies by Becca Fitzpatrick, I did read. Salt and Stone, this is a book 2. Both of these books are on the library app, so I'll probably just do it there. Not only that, I usually read book 1 and then I never get to book 2, or maybe I will, maybe I won't. It's really, really, really hard for me to do series or more than one book. I have to really, really like book 1 to go into book 2. I don't know. This is The Dead Girls of Hysteria Hall. I never read it. Look at those beautiful pages, though. And I'm not going to keep it just because of that. I did that, or Phoebe did that. But it's a library book, so I don't know. I was going to read it for October, but it is on the library site, so there you go. If I ever change my mind. And then A Tangle of Knots. I was going to read this. I only got it for a quarter, or free. I think it was a quarter. And I just don't know if I'm ever going to take the time to read it or not, so I read Maggie Stiefvater's book 1, Shiver. I got book 2 at a library book sale, Linger. But I don't know. It's on the library app. I don't know if I'm ever going to read it. Book 1 was just for me. This is Rachel Vale's Gorgeous. Just not interested in reading it. Marcus Sedgwick's The Ghosts of Heaven. This sounds good. Sounds really good to me and all that, but I have read another book by him, but I just don't know. And if I ever decide to read another book by him, I'll probably just, I don't know, get it again from the library or read it from the library app. There's just so many. I have 3 different library apps, so there's just so many books that are always coming in. And then in my book page that I want to read, that it's like, I don't know. I just have, I have to weed through, you know. And you change every year too, I think. And or you're reading changes or ripens or blossoms into something else, or you get interested in something else. Like, I see myself going more towards, I still love my mystery thriller, that kind of thing, but I do see myself going more into the fluffy, you know, romance and stuff like that, or the more funny stuff like Sophie Kinsella. I do enjoy her, or Christina June, or stuff like that. It's more fun. I don't know. I like that balance. Hannah Barnaby's Some of the Parts. I decided I don't want to read it. Pandemonium, Lauren Oliver. I heard this was good. I don't know. The Haunting of Elizabeth Cray, I guess that's how you say that. Not going to read it. And then these 2, I do want to read these, but they sound really cute, but they don't have book 1 off the library app, and these are book 2 and 3. So, I don't know. Maybe I'll just get the book or something if I ever see it or something like that. But that is all the ones that I'm going to put out into the community because I can't trade those. Now, let's go to the ones I can trade. Alrighty, these are the ones that I'm going to try and trade. I think there's 25. I'm not sure. But I'm going to go ahead and try and trade Cookies and Cream. I never use this book, and I have to watch what I eat, and I've put on a lot of weight lately, like over the last year, so I need to be careful with that. And then this one, I just didn't find this one useful. Bob Harper Skinny Meals, at least to me, might be useful to somebody else. Everything You Need to Lose Weight Fast, not very helpful for me. I don't know. I have other books that I think will be more helpful. And then this is the Wheat-Free Cookbook, Gluten-Free Recipes for Everyone. I went through it, and I don't think I have a gluten problem. So, I'm I'm going to pass it. Trade it. That's what I'm going to do. Trade it. Alright, I read Edgeland. It's on my Goodreads. I liked it. It was cute. And I read Brilliant. That was cute. I'm just not going to keep it. I read this self-help book, Equilibrium. It wasn't very helpful to me. So, and as you can see, I didn't mark it. I usually mark it if it's helpful to me. I didn't mark it at all with little tabbies or anything. So I think I'm going to pass this one on. I don't think I'm going to reread this one. I think I'm done. I'd rather reread You Are a Badass or read one of the other ones I have. And then, as you guys know, I love Stephen King. I do. But Cujo is not my favorite book. So I am going to go ahead and try and trade that one. Creatures, I was going to read this one at Halloween. I got this from a book friend, but I don't think I'm ever going to read it. I just lost interest, I guess. So I'm going to go ahead and try and trade. And I do know that book is on the library app. This is a book 2, Bet Your Life. I did want to read this book, but it is a book 2, and book 1 and book 2 are on the library app, so I can always read it there. This is a book 2. Ow, I just smacked myself in the face. Alright, this is a book 2. I read book 1, but I'm not really interested in reading book 2. I've tried to pick it up several times and just couldn't get into it. This I got for a gift, but I'm going to go ahead and try and trade it. And it is a book 2, so I think this is a book 2 as well. I don't know. This is a book 2. All these book 2s. That's my problem. It's like I gotta read book 1 off the library site anyway, and then I might not even go into book 2, so what's the point? And Reached is a book 2. Somebody bought me a book 2, I think. Or this is a book 3, not a book 2. I have book 1 and I have book 3, and I'm like, okay, so I gotta read book 2 off the library app. Don't even know if I'm gonna like book 1 and want to go into book 2. So I'm just gonna go ahead and trade it. And this is a book 2. Just gonna go ahead and trade it. They don't have book 1 off the library app. And Dragon's Keep, Janet Lee Carey. Yep. Janet. I don't know. I'm gonna trade it. I already read this book, All the Winters After. It was okay. You can see my Goodreads. I love the way it opens, though. I wish all books open like that. That'd be great. This one, I read this. I think this was my very first book that I read in January this year. I'm pretty sure. My first or my second. But I only gave it 2 stars. I hated this book. I just did not like any of the stories in it at all. It seemed like a very upset author. And he just put it in writing. This is The Devouring. I read this. It was okay. Let It Snow. This was a cute story. Well, actually, it was 3 stories by 3 different authors, but they all blended very well. I thought it was really good, really cute. I enjoyed it. Nethergrim. You guys know. I'm not going to reread it, though, so I'm not going to keep it. Soul Thief. Never read this one. Supposedly, this is like book 4 or 5 in the series or something like that, and I have not been able to find book 1. I don't know. I'm just like, never mind. I'm just not going to waste my time. And I told you guys I already read this one, Spoiled. Pretty sure it was spoiled. I can't remember if I read book 1, whichever book 1 is, but I'm not going to read book 2. That's the whole point. And then Lucid. I think I've had this one in a past haul. I think I took it out and was like, either that or I got it from a book friend. Either way, I'm just like, I'll read it off the library app if I want it. And then the last one, but not least, I've had this one for a while on my TBR. I was going to read it like 2 Halloweens now. Never have. So I'm going to go ahead and try and trade it. And that is my unhaul for now. Alright, I guess that's it. I don't have anything else. You guys have already seen my shows. I'm going to drink my smoothie, and I guess I will see you next time on Books I Read. Bye!